Well, hey guys, good day. It is John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur. You are tuned into Inspirations for Your Life. If you're wondering where I am live here at Montclair State University in between classes. So, yes, it's exam time coming up very soon, and the semester is ending, and then a little break for a week, and then on for 14 more weeks for the summer session. All right, guys, it's so great to be with you. This is your very first time joining me. I want to say welcome and I want to say thank you. If you're coming back, I definitely want to say welcome back and thank you from the bottom of my heart. Really appreciate that. Also, I'm so grateful to all of you that are supporting the launch of my new book, Drained to Driven. We are on a live campus, so sometimes we may get people walking behind me, around me, over me, or what have you. So it's a live environment, so we can't really, control things like that. But it is nice. The weather today is a little chilly. But not too bad that we have to wear gloves or anything like that. So again, don't forget to check out believemeachieve.com. You can actually learn about my brand new book there, Drained to Driven. And it's a great book, 6x9 hardcover book, about 136 pages, 3 appendices. There is also the Kindle version and the Audible version, which I did record. It should be approved, I believe, later this week. Amazon Audible takes a little bit of time for that. The ACX Amazon Creators Exchange, so that takes a little time for them to manually go through and verify it. But again, it is so great to have everyone here with me on the Inspirations for Your Life show. And it's great to be mobile. I can tell you guys, we're going to be doing more of these mobile shows. Because they're catching on. People like when I'm on location as opposed to in studio or something like that. So this is Inspirations for Your Life. Oh, when you're thirsty, if you're hungry or what have you, forgive me there, my manners. I just had lunch. But if you feel like having something, go grab it and come on back, get comfy, and let's start the show. So this is Inspirations for Your Life. Why small actions change everything. That is basically series 5. It is show number 17, and it's episode number 3. And it is a Monday. Yes, it's a Monday. It's April 20, 2026. And the master topic that all ties into for the week is how people actually take control of their life decision. The question is, do people take control or do they get pushed into something? Because I've said this before, just because you don't make a decision doesn't mean you've not made a decision. By you not deciding is actually you deciding. So you can read more about that in my book, Drained to Driven, and all some other great insights. But a lot of people just move through life and they don't really take the time to enjoy every moment. That could be eating, that could be walking, that could be enjoying a beverage, that could be, just sitting outside and or walking. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur, engineer, marketing specialist, video producer, podcast host, coach, keynote speaker, graduate student, passionate lifelong learner, and now, guys, very proud to be a official published author. So today, I'm not talking about massive breakthroughs, okay? I'm talking about something far more powerful. And like I told you, we're on a live environment. So again, we could get people around me, behind me, above me. Noises happen. We're not in a studio. So we're talking about something more powerful than what you imagine. Small actions, guys, because most people are waiting for a big moment to change their life. And I got news for you. The big moment is never going to happen to you unless you embrace the small moments. So a big decision, a big opportunity, a big shift. But real change doesn't happen that way, guys. It happens quietly. It happens consistently. And it happens through the smallest repeat actions that you take over time. Are you ready, guys? Let's get in the main topics. Number 1, when we understand the small inputs compound results, they build over time. So what seems insignificant today becomes undeniable tomorrow, okay? And again, tiny actions, number 2, scale faster than expected. Small steps kind of stay small, but when they get repeated, they really start to branch into something. So I think these are important things to notice. And so many people, if you just sit outside, like, a fly on the wall, and you observe people, whether they're talking, whether they're on their phone, whatever they're doing, they're not into the moment. They're into so many other things that they're trying to multitask because that's what, the generation's saying you need to do. But multitasking is not great. I got to be honest with you. Number 3, Consistency beats intensity. I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again every time, because what you do regularly matters more than what you do occasionally. If you do something great one day, but then the rest of your week you just don't do anything, that's going to be a problem for you. So if you, let's say, watch what you eat on one day, and then on this day you don't watch what you eat, and then over here you actually come and now you watch, that's not going to be a big difference, okay? So number 4, guys, minor shifts create major change. A slight adjustment, repeated daily changes directly, completely will change your life. Number 5, guys, daily habits shape identity. So whatever day you have actually defines you by what you're doing over and over again, not by what you do one day. One day doesn't set the pattern or the trajectory of your life. You don't become something big overnight. You become it daily. I didn't write Drained to Driven in 5 minutes. It took me some time. It took me several months, but it was consistent effort, working on it, then editing it at the end, and just being consistent, doing a little bit each day. You know, working on part of a chapter, a concept, and then staying with that all the time. And the book got finished. Number 6, guys, repetition builds momentum. The more you do something, the easier it becomes. I can speak about this being in grad school. You know, a lot of times we're learning new formulas, and the formula seems like a real pain in the butt, okay? But when you've done it over and over and over and over again, it seems like the easiest thing because now it becomes comfortable. I've said that when something is uncomfortable, that's when success starts to breed. Number 7, guys, small wins reinforce behavior progress. So encourage more progress is what it's about. And I think most people are looking for the giant win. They're looking for that big, grand gesture. But the truth of the matter is, that's a movie. This isn't a movie. This is your life. So we need to start embracing every breath, every step, every thought you take, because the thoughts are what's going to lead you to the inspiration. The inspiration is what's going to take you to your success. You won't see results, guys, right away, so don't get disappointed. But they're building. They're working behind the scenes. Have you ever gone to a movie or a play, and a lot of times, you're waiting there, but it didn't start yet? Well, they're working on the set, behind the scenes, and then you see this fantastic Broadway play. Number 9, compounding takes time. Growth accelerates after consistency. Growth accelerates after consistency. And I think the more that we can be consistent, and I can share this with you in my math or my engineering problems, the more I do something, the more consistent, okay? But not just the consistency. I notice the learning curve basically gets smaller so that I learn more in a short amount of time because of the consistency. So spending a large amount of time is going to be frustrating. But if you do short chunks, you keep taking the short term and basically transferring it to your long-term memory. So number 10, guys, what you repeat grows. Whatever you feed expands. So what we think about, we bring about. I've said this many times before, but these are really important points that I think set the path for our lives. Whatever you feed expands. So when you focus on a thought, okay, wherever you put your energy, basically, right? So when you focus on a thought, the energy is going to flow to that idea, whether you want it or not. So it's about the thing that it's not just conscious minds, it's unconscious minds. And I don't know if you guys know this, but throughout your entire day, you're actually being programmed to do things that you may or may not even want to do, but the environment around you is actually making you do things. You're saying, oh, that's not possible. Yes, it is. You go to a store and you suddenly buy extra junk that you don't need. That's an impulse buy. It doesn't work on everybody, but a lot of people, it does tempt them, and they do buy that last thing that they don't really need. So what you repeat, you reinforce. You can hear the truck backing up. Like I said, I'm right here. There's actually a construction site not too far from me. They're actually building a new STEM center. So again, we are on a live, active campus with live people, live noise, live environment. It's fun, but it's also challenging. Number 11, guys, simplicity sustains progress. Simple actions are easier to maintain long term. again, you're going to hear planks, you're going to hear all kinds of stuff. That's kind of the fun of being in a live environment. So simplicity sustains progress. When we make a concept simple, it's easier to repeat. And when it's easier to repeat, we can thus be consistent at it, maintain it, and we can actually get better at it over the long term. Number 12, guys. Oh, and the sun has just come out. This is beautiful. Small effort removes overwhelm, right? You don't need to do everything, just something. Number 13, guys. Momentum builds gradually. Movement creates more movement, right? Movement creates more movement. When your body is standing up or where you're sitting and you're starting to move one part of your body, it's like the rest of your body wants to get into. Maybe you start dancing, maybe you start dancing with your feet, and then your arms and your leg, like your chest, everything wants to like get involved with the dance. So that's what we mean about momentum. And momentum is energy, guys. Momentum is energy. That is important. Number 14, guys. Inputs define results. What you put in determines what comes out. We said this before, but if we don't understand what goes in and we don't know how or we don't know what's being put in, then what we're getting out is just, well, a mystery. Sometimes we might like it, sometimes we won't. But if we become aware of the inputs that our body is susceptible to, see, touch, hear, touch, taste, smell, proprioception. So every awareness right now, for example, I'm sitting here talking to you guys on the show. I can feel wind against my neck. I can actually, just as I said that I feel more wind, I can actually feel the temperature in my socks, in my feet right now. It's not too cold, but it's not actually very warm either. So it's kind of in the middle. I also can feel the texture right now as my feet are on this patio concrete here at school. I can feel the texture of my feet against the shoes and the soles against the concrete. And I think there's lots of things to become aware of. So just sitting here, and I've done this before, I could be aware of the building. I could be aware of the color of the building. Like right to my right, if I turn the camera here, you guys can see. This is actually a hall in which you guys can see that. Actually, I got to turn the camera to my there we go. Okay, and you guys can actually see it right over here. But this is University Hall. If I can kind of give you a little view of it, can you see it? Hopefully you can. Okay, there's another building over there, and the building has a certain architecture to it. It has a certain color to it, a certain to it. In addition to that, the other thing that I noticed being here is I noticed the different sounds from the wind, even though it's not very vigilant. I notice the bells or the chimes. I notice when they were unloading stuff. I notice when people are opening a door, like there's some maintenance people here and they're doing some work and they open a door. So you can become aware of all these different things. And I think when we can become aware of things, we're able to understand everything much better. So for example, if we're in a movie theater, right? And let's say there's no sound at that movie theater. Well, we're going to miss a big part of that movie. Right? Maybe you've gone to a theme park beginning with a D or one beginning with a U. I'm not going to mention their names, but they add a lot of things. So they add animatronics. They add things to give us more awareness, like things that we can feel, things that we can smell, touch, right? They also create different types of motion patterns for us. Some can make you a little bit nauseous if you go too fast. But these are all things that we can gain awareness from. And like, just like that building, and just like I can notice sitting here, and I can notice the sky, and I can notice that there's clouds up in the sky. You may or may not, I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me just see if I can show you. Can you see the clouds? Okay, yeah, kind of hard to see, I know. So there's clouds. There is also, as I'm sitting here, there is an awareness that I have of the space that I'm in, okay? Noticing the proximity right now, Like I said, I'm watching. There's some repair people here. They're repairing a door, trying to do something, and I'm aware of all these different things around me. Across to me, on my right, your left, there's a student sitting on their laptop doing some reading or studying. I'm aware of all the trees around me. Okay, I am aware right now of just the environment that I'm in, like this little courtyard here. Okay, and I'm aware of that. Other things I could be aware of, there's different people that walk in and walk out at different times. So I think what I want to tell you is awareness is a big key to success. If we miss awareness, then we really miss the signals that could take us forward or push us backwards. And that's an important thing to understand. So, as I said, the inputs define the results, and those inputs come, ladies and gentlemen, from your awareness. Number 15, volume creates impact. More reps lead to stronger outcomes. For those of you that do, right, if you do 3 sets of 15 or 3 sets of 10, right, the more reps you do, okay, the more reps you do, the stronger the outcome actually becomes. So if you started, for example, with a set, and let's say one set has 10 reps in it. So you might do 3 sets of 10 reps. The more reps you add helps. And sometimes what we'll do is we'll make it to be more sets and less reps. The reason is we get a little break between the sets. And I think these are important things. You don't need a perfect plan, guys. You need a consistent action. You need that every day. You can't say, well, gee, you know what? I don't want to do it today, okay? Because I don't feel like it. And, you can't do that because you're going to break your pattern. Once you've gotten into a pattern and once you're doing it so much that it just becomes like automatic, like I got to do that, that's when life starts to change. It won't change overnight. Number 16, guys, small changes reduce risk, okay? Big changes fail fast. Small ones stick. We could talk about a car dealership and how they decided to make this a huge expansion. Or one that I know of not far from us in Naples, Florida, where this guy was opening a pizzeria. He got a little bit, let's say, too aggressive, and he decided to buy another store next to him, so it was double. What happened in a few months? He couldn't pay his rent, and he also opened another store in another part of town, and he couldn't pay that one either. So then he went out of business. So we got to be careful about these things. So a small change might be something like, when we serve food here, we're going to have a signature napkin, or we're going to make sure that, we put a certain type of free app on the table, a couple of them, so people can taste it, and maybe they might order that app today. So that could be how that works. Number 17, guys, big results start small. I said this before. Every major outcome that's ever happened began with a step. Okay? You can't complete a marathon till you first put your foot forward for the very first step. You can't complete a repair until you take the step to get the screwdriver. You can't learn something until you take the step to want to learn. Be open to learning. Number 18, guys, patterns scale very fast. What you repeat is automatic, but be careful with what you make automatic. If it's something that dwindles away your time or dwindles away your purpose, you're going to be chasing an 8-ball and saying, you know what? I feel like my day slipped through my fingers, because you're not aware of the moment you're in. If I took 9 out of 10 students out of this campus and I asked them, are you aware of anything? They'd look crazy. They'd be on their phones, like this, walking across campus, doing some stupid stuff. And if I asked them, are they aware of what's around them? Are they aware of the sunshine? Are they aware of things? Now that I told them about it, they probably are, but they weren't aware of it before. And the pattern interrupt comes where we need to automatically start slowing down and becoming aware of these things around us. Something Drain to Driven actually does a really good job of explaining firsthand. Number 19, guys, discipline beats burst. Short-term effort fades. Structure stays. Structure stays. The bursts may seem like they're doing this phenomenal job, but they quickly burn out. Number 20, guys, minor upgrades stack. Each improvement builds on the last thing that you worked on. The last thing. Small improvements, guys, don't stay small. Nope. They get bigger. I remember the first time I built our own custom website with our own system. It was very small. It was one page. And then we added all these modules. And now we're out to like a scheduling system, and that's a whole other thing. But my point is, it started with just something that could manage web pages correctly and properly and be 100% secure. Not something that had a million features. It had the core features, and then we added on additional options as we needed to. But we made sure that that was going to be scalable and able to work in any of the environments we deployed it in. Number 21, guys, growth builds quietly. Most progress happens before it's visible. Yep, that's true. Most progress happens before it's visible. It's like the iceberg. The real heart or the meat of the iceberg is below, way, way down, not at the tippy top. Number 22, guys, persistence multiplies results. Staying consistent creates exponential outcomes. Staying consistent creates exponential outcomes. Staying consistent creates exponential outcomes. When we're consistent, we can actually get better. I'll give you an example. So many years ago, I didn't know I play pool pretty well. Even have my own stick, have my own cue things to, basically make sure the stick is good and all ready for the ball before we play. But I didn't understand stick etiquette. I didn't understand how to play. I didn't understand how the angles worked. But once I started to play, and I was consistent with it, okay. And again, we're in a live environment here, and looks like there might be like an ROTC or something that's doing some type of a run or a walk or something. Looks like that's what they're doing. So again, we're at a live campus here today. And again, you just never know what you're going to get, who you're going to get, or what they're going to do. Number 23, guys. I always try to pick a location that's kind of out of the beaten path, but somehow things sort of still find me. Number 23, structure creates stability. Systems hold the progress in place. You might have one of the most complex things you have to do, right? Create a system for it. In my book, I share how the systems I built have helped me and continue to help me grow every single day. People say to me, John, why didn't you do this earlier? Because I wasn't aware. Because I wasn't aware. And that awareness awakening changed my life. Number 24, guys, stability creates consistency. When things are stable, they repeat almost effortlessly. So I've said to you guys that success starts where it gets uncomfortable. Well, then how is that working, John? Well, once you learn the pattern or once you know what to do, it's not hard anymore. Okay? It's not hard anymore. It's not as uncomfortable. But in order to grow, you have to keep pushing yourself to doing things that are uncomfortable. Not painful. I said uncomfortable. Number 25, guys, consistency creates outcomes and results follows repetition. So results will follow the repetition. In a few minutes, we're going to have a whole bunch of people walking behind me here. So consistency is what turns the effort into results. It's not like you're just going to wake up one morning and bam, it's going to hit you. No. Those are the people that get extremely disappointed in life because they don't put the effort in. People think showing up is the total answer. It's not. Showing up is a big part of success, but it's not the entire piece. Like I said, it's a live environment here, so we have students walking behind, around, and again, this is just one of the things you get, a benefit or non-benefit here, or pitfall of being on campus. Again, before we were very quiet, and now it's like we're the last few minutes, and then we're getting all these people just popping up. So focus compounds faster. Distraction slows growth. Focus accelerates it. That's pretty cool. Number 27, guys, small progress prevents stagnation. Small progress. When I was writing my book, and I started several years ago for another book I was going to start, I had it on the calendar, I scheduled it, but I never would put the time in to actually write the book. And I would have it on the calendar, and I'd be like, oh, I'll do it another day. And I never would do it. What got me to write it was a system. I said, you know what? I need to outline. Then I got in the outlining for a couple of weeks, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I've done enough outlining. I need to stop the outlining and actually write. And then if there's something different, I could change it, but I need to get something down in the system, in the computer. So, as I said, small progress prevents stagnation. And that is consistent small progress. Okay? Number 28, guys. Repetition creates an identity. You become what you repeatedly do. You want to be a great actor? Keep repeating it. You want to become an A student? Keep repeating that behavior. You want to become a great leader? Keep doing it. Keep repeating it. Leaders are not born, guys. They are made. I know. I went through scouting, and that was the shift. When I was doing it, I didn't realize how scouts was shaping me to be a great leader. I didn't know that. I knew there were some great skills, but I didn't really appreciate it back then. Now I do. So direction shifts gradually. Change doesn't feel big, but it is. And when it happens, you're like, oh my gosh, is that really happening? Number 30, small actions win long term. The smallest consistent actions always beat the biggest occasional ones. A lot of people say, you know, I'm going to domino that. And that's great. You want to domino it, but are you going to keep being able to do it consistently? Nope, you're going to burn out. Small actions today create big outcomes tomorrow. You don't need to build the entire palace of Rome in one day. Here's the shift, guys. You don't need a massive change right now. You need a small action you can repeat daily, consistently. Because the problem isn't that people don't want to grow. Nope. It's that they overestimate what needs to happen. They wait for motivation. They wait for the right time. They wait for something big. But growth doesn't wait, guys. It builds quietly, daily, through repetition. So instead of asking what big move should I make, ask what small action can I repeat today? Because that answer is your future. Pretty cool, guys. For insights, check out BelieveMeAchieve.com, including my book. And I'll catch you guys real soon, because your next level is not built in one moment. It is built one action at a time. So get started now.